Governor, as you look past the budget now that it's behind you, if you will, what would you say your top 3 goals are in the next year?
Oh, I think they're all related. I mean, for me, it's overall continue to create a better business climate, because we don't create jobs. We want to create jobs in the state. I got to make it easier for you and everybody else in the state who actually creates jobs to do it. So better business environment, better environment to create jobs. Secondly, it's what we talked about before. We've got to help develop the workforce. So we've got to find more ways, more effective ways to help people get the skills they need to fill the jobs that are open and the jobs that could be open if we had a steadier stream out there. And that's an immediate. And then the third fits into that, and that's continue to transform education. Because it's not only the short-term needs that we have to fill those 30,000 to 40,000 jobs I talked about in the website that open now, it's also going forward knowing that a huge challenge that I think not only here in Wisconsin but across the country has largely been overshadowed because of the slow recovery out of the recession. And what I mean by that is people who are at or near retirement age are working longer than they expected because their 401ks aren't exactly where they thought they'd be a few years ago. That's kind of masked the fact that you've got this whole baby boomer generation who either is at or near retirement age. Going forward, particularly people in HR across the state know that there's a huge challenge out there. That if we want to continue to keep our businesses here and attract new ones, we've got to have a steady supply of well-trained, well-prepared workers to fill those positions. In the short term, it's what I talked about with workforce development, but really in the mid to long-term range, it's making sure we continue to transform education, to have great schools, be they public, charter, private, virtual, whatever they might be, and to continuously upgrade and improve it. It's one of the things that gets hardly any attention, but one of the things that fits right into that is we put money in this budget to help schools all across the state do academic and career plans as early as 6th grade. You look at Europe, particularly Germany, you know, they're early on, they're helping young people figure out what are my interests, what are my talents, what are my skill sets, and they treat their young people who pick a career path as a craftsman just as highly as they do someone who's an engineer or a doctor, or, and somehow we've lost connection to that. And so with those academic career plans, we're trying to help young people figure out the right path that they need to be on, because increasingly, not just the jobs, but the careers that are open require 2 but not 4-year degrees, and in many cases they pay more, they're more sustainable, there are more jobs open. We just need to make sure that for all of our sons and daughters in this state, we're just as proud as, you know, the son or daughter who gets a degree can do high-skill welding as we are the one who's picks up a profession that requires a 4-year degree, because again, that's where a lot of the work is and that's where a lot of talent is. I was just at a forge the other day and it was looking at the work that these guys were doing and said, you know, this is really, there's a craft to that. There's a certain artistic value. This isn't just about pressing or operating a press. There's some real talent and craft to that. These are the sorts of things we need to promote and push, and this, you know, so there's little things like that that don't get a lot of attention. Or even we work with Dr. Evers on ACT, changing the work keys and having an overall ATC component, so that we're not just testing for 4-year college bound, we're testing for everyone in school, so we know, are we really getting these young people ready for careers? So those are 3 things. Continue to improve the business environment, continue to help develop the workforce, and then continue to transform education so that you do indeed have that steady supply of potential workers out there.